Hey guys, what is going on? So I just wanted to give an update on my body scan that I took today. Some interesting numbers there, and then I will talk about how I'm changing, my diet, and my training a little bit. This is something that I did previously, and I will get into those. But first, let's look at these scan comparisons. So this is comparing the 31st of January, which I would consider to be my peak form. Other than, I carried a little bit of fat here. This is the highest lean body mass that I've ever had in my life. I was on Turkesterone. I would also say this is probably the strongest I'd ever been. This was prior to my injuries and everything like that. This is just kind of peak form. But again, I was carrying a little bit of fat here. But if you look, my body fat percentage is down from this level. Fat mass is down a little bit, so I'm starting to get leaner than that. And then my lean mass is down 4 pounds from this level. And, I will kind of show where that is at. But it's kind of encouraging. And the weight overall is down about 6 pounds from there, waist to hip. If you look, shoulders are the same. So shoulders are the thing that I improved upon the most when I was using Turkesterone. It seemed like almost all my weight gain just went straight to my shoulders. So that's good to see. My arms are actually up a little bit. My chest, waist is down a little bit. So pretty much all my upper body numbers are similar. My stomach is down. The only things that are really down to any significant degree that are not like flat or up a little bit is if you look here, my upper thighs, and if you look lower thighs and calves as well. So basically my legs are not where they used to be. And this is interesting because yesterday I decided I was going to go back to split training. So this is the exact same thing that I did in my first Turkesterone experiment. For those of you who are unfamiliar, I had been following nucleus overload training prior to getting Turkesterone. Nucleus overload is what Megan from Team 3D Alpha, talks about. And for everybody who's in my comments talking about, oh, you can get ecdysterone from spinach and quinoa and all that. I know, I'm aware. I watched that channel. I have been implementing that training style for over a year now. I know what's going on. I do watch that channel. I do love Megan. But that is the style that I've done. And basically, you kind of do a certain style of training where you work out full body, do it every day. And there are different ways to do it. And then you kind of go back to normal training, which could, be split training. And that's something that I experimented with in my last one, and I seem to get pretty good gains from that. Now, obviously, I did take a break. I did have that mTOR reset. I don't know if that's super necessary for me right now, just considering I just had a super long break with all the injuries and stuff. So I'm just going to go right into split training. And I did my leg workout yesterday. And I noticed, so I finally was getting back into like legit squats. I've been doing leg days, not even necessarily leg days, consistently, but just kind of here and there as like one of my workouts. And I haven't really been able to squat fully. Like I still kind of had the hip pain a little bit. It wasn't anything severe. And yesterday I was able to squat as heavy as I could basically, and I had no hip pain. I had a full leg day, fully did it, by myself, went hard, and it was pretty tough. And I just noticed that my legs were very weak. Like this is the weakest that they've been in years, probably just due to the fact that I was sedentary. And if you look at these numbers, my thighs being the only thing that really went down other than like my waist and my stomach, it kind of makes you think like those extra 4 pounds that I am not at from my peak could potentially just be me missing like leg muscle that I lost being sedentary, having the hip injury, stuff like that. So I'm going back to split training, and I'm also upping my carbs again. So basically what I've been doing over this first month is I've been doing intermittent fasting. Wasn't really planning on doing that, but that's just kind of the way that it worked out. Because I know that I now have this third vector of weight loss, which is, Gorilla Mind fat burners. I've been using those. I've been using like Yohimbine, and I'll do that on an empty stomach. And it just made the most sense to do it prior to training, do fasted workouts, especially when I knew that I wasn't like really, I didn't need to like go super hard in the gym. I just needed to kind of regain muscle that I had lost. And I didn't think I needed like any super crazy carb source or anything like that. So basically been doing that for about a month. And, I've been losing fat and gaining muscle as I've been doing it. So it's been going great. Now that my upper body is back to where it needs to be, I figure, okay, I'm going to go back to the splits, make sure that I'm carved up for my workouts, make sure that they're intense, make sure that I'm getting adequate rest, and just kind of go back into like a split style training where I'm a little bit more focused on recovery and just going harder in the gym and really just kind of pushing the muscle to the limit to potentially gain some more muscle. So basically the idea here is that I'll be adding, some of the carbs that I would have post workout or just later on in the day. I'm going to be adding, like I just had them today. I'm just about to go work out, and I'm going to do that, make sure that my training is on point. And I'm not sure how much of a deficit I'm even going to be in. My main focus now is, hey, can I get a higher lean body mass than I've ever had? That's my new goal. I am still cutting. I do still want to be in a deficit, but I understand, if I have to be around maintenance for a while, this could potentially be like a diet break. I'm going to try this for a few weeks, maybe like a month or so, see what happens. Ideally, I would continue to lose fat. But I'm willing to take this cut really slow, and this could, be a diet break that would be beneficial for me. So at the end of the day, I want to hit PRs. I want to get all-time, lean body mass scores, like just get that up, get my bench up. My squat is obviously terrible. I want to get that up. I want to get the leg mass. Like, I just want all that to be a thing, and I think being in like a heavy deficit might not be ideal. So ideally, I'd be in like maybe a 200-300 calorie deficit or something like that. I'm not really going to track it or anything like that. Whatever ends up happening, it is what it is. But I am going to be implementing cardio at the end of my routine, just to kind of potentially burn a little bit more calories and increase the odds of me being very fueled up for my workouts, but then also potentially being in a deficit. That's kind of my goal there. And up to this point, I have been able to recomp on this for the past month. So I'm hoping I can continue that. And yeah, I'm just going to be going back to splits, really hitting things hard. Today I do have back. So for me, legs are my primary goal. Then, kind of back. I think my shoulders are back up to par. And I'll be looking to hit some PRs and hopefully break, a new all-time high in terms of lean body mass as well. So again, those are all my goals. I want to do all that while getting even more shredded than before. Which, I wasn't really super shredded at this point, but I want to get the leanest that I've ever been. So anyway, that's all I got to say about that. I will keep you updated, and I'll talk to you soon.